David Sutter from Wyopreps.com, and it's time for our Athlete of the Week honors. And from this past weekend, the girls' winners takes us to the state tennis championships last weekend in Gillette. And the Cody girls at number one doubles took home the state title as they won all four of their matches in straight sets. Natalie, Wenke, and Alyssa Despain, they completed an undefeated season, winning 6-2, 6-love in the first round, 6-2, 6-1 in the quarters, 6-3, 6-3 in the semis. And they must have liked that score because they won 6-3, 6-3 in the championship. And I get a smile in the background from both Alyssa and Natalie, who's waiting to talk to me. Natalie, congratulations. How's it feel to be a state champion?
Thank you. I don't know. It still hasn't really set in yet. Like it's done and over, I guess. Like it was a great way to end everything, but it still hasn't really hit that it's like, hey, it's done.
Alyssa, do you have the same type of feelings and thoughts?
I don't know. It's just a pretty great way to end, especially senior year. Like, I'm really proud of us and the way that we came out and competed this year. So it just feels awesome.
Alyssa, talk to me a little bit about the keys to your victory at state tennis to win the championship. What do you think was the biggest reason why you two were so successful in Gillette last weekend?
This is me and Natalie's third year playing together. So we have a really good, read on each other on the court, and we've just practiced for so long together. I think that's a big part of why we work so well together and just the time we spend. And I think that was honestly a big key in part to us and our success this season.
Natalie, what has it been like to play with Alyssa all these years, and how do you feel like you two have improved along the way?
That's great. Playing with Alyssa is awesome. She's just a great person. But I feel like over the years you could really see like us coming together and really seeing how we play together. And I think coaches know that, and it's awesome that we've been able to have the opportunity to play together for 3 years.
Now, obviously, you two were considered one of the teams to beat going into state, at least from my perspective, anyways. But what the heck do I know? Uh, from your perspective, how did you handle maybe a little bit of that pressure and maybe a little bit of kind of a target on your back, Natalie?
Um, I don't know. I didn't really feel any of the pressure. Um, I just kind of got out there and it took a match by match. Didn't matter where the other teams really ranked up, where they were ranked. It was just get out, play this match, win it, and keep moving on.
Alyssa, did it help playing some familiar foes? But then when you got to the championship, you're facing a Cheyenne Central team that obviously the other corner of the state, that's a little bit of a different team. Was that kind of strange playing somebody you hadn't seen?
Well, so our championship was Thunder Basin. They were on our side. So we did see them a lot. The new teams we saw were Cheyenne South and Laramie, which it's fun to play new teams and just to go out there without any expectations and just to play our game. And there's not a lot of pressure when you don't know and you just have to move your feet and keep playing. But it was also really fun to play Thunder Basin again for the third time this season. And I familiar faces are fun and they were a super fun team to play.
Is that more stressful because maybe they know your game a little bit better? Talking about Thunder Basin, facing them in the finals?
I think it could be. Um, but I think as long as we always just played our game, we moved our feet and we kept our focus and played our own mental game, it just it didn't matter in the end who we were playing as long as we were playing our game.
Natalie, talk a little bit about that. Playing your game. Alyssa talked about moving your feet. What else was a key to your success, do you think? What I guess is your game? How would you kind of describe it?
I'd say that we're a team that likes to go up to the net and put away a lot of points. We're not necessarily a rally ball team. We both like to go up and put the ball away.
Since you both have played together for a few years now, was the goal an undefeated season, Natalie? And how do you feel like the steps went along the way to accomplishing that?
Um, I'd say that the undefeated season was a really maybe ambitious goal to start.
Okay.
And then the further we kept going, was maybe this is something that's really possible.
Okay. So as you continued through the season, Alyssa, was there any pressure built up with the undefeated season for you two?
I think probably a little bit. Um, I wouldn't say it was expected, like Natalie said, especially at the beginning. And I guess as you keep as we kept going throughout the season, the pressure did build a little bit, but it's a mental game. As long as our coach says it all the time. I mean, we worked a lot on mental focus, and that was really key to not letting the pressure get to you and just being able to play.
And then describe what it's like to play with Natalie from your perspective. Kind of assess your teammate for me.
Oh, it's really great. She is so good at the net. I think that's honestly where we kind of shine. We do both go up a lot, but her at the net was just money. Put it away. It was awesome. I've loved playing with Natalie the last 3 years, and we just work so well together.
All right, Natalie, reverse the role. Assess what it's like playing with Alyssa a little bit.
I absolutely love playing with Alyssa. I'm so happy that I got to play with her for those 3 years. Um, she's always got like a smile, but like also very serious at the same time. Kind of keeps me in it. It's really nice to have somebody that's there, and she's always moving, and you can just tell that she wants to be there and win.
She said you're good at the net. Do either of you serve very well?
I'd say we both have pretty good serves. I think we've probably got a couple games off people here and there off of our serves. So
All right. For you two, what is kind of the key to playing doubles? Obviously, you got to learn your partner, but from your perspective, what's kind of the key to playing doubles, Alyssa, and being successful at it?
Yeah, movement is key. I mean, you already said it, knowing how your partner plays, but movement is definitely key. You have to be able to run the back line, read the other team. It's very different from singles. But yeah, movement for sure.
Now, I said I would direct questions, but did either of you ever think about playing singles or want to play singles?
Um, I did think about it preseason. Like before challenge matches where we were ranked on our team, I did think about playing singles. And I won't speak for Natalie, but I think we both, as we got to the end of that first week, we were like, we should play doubles again. And that's probably where we were lining up on the team anyway.
Okay. Natalie, it looks like you agree.
yeah, I guess I would say I don't know if like playing singles ever crossed my mind. I really like having someone out on the court with me to support me, and I really like going up to the net. I feel like sometimes the doubles is just a little bit more fast and aggressive when you get to go up to the net and play competitive teams, and I really enjoy that.
Well, and I'll throw out a tip of the cap. I don't think Noelle and Brenna were too bad at singles this year for the Cody Phillies. So I will throw out a tip of the cap to them. Natalie, first for you, what is it about playing tennis that you like?
I think here in Cody, we just have like a super, super fun team. Everybody gets along super well. There's really good team camaraderie, and we hang out outside of the season. And the people here are just really great. It's a great team.
What about for you, Alyssa? Where's the love of tennis come from?
I do love the environment as well. I love being outside, so that's also a plus. Um, it was just kind of a spur of the moment decision for me sophomore year to play, and I loved it. So I think the people definitely have a big role in that.
Well, it seems like it worked out for both of you. Hey, congratulations on a state title and an undefeated season. Natalie Wenke, Alyssa Despain, congrats on being our Athlete of the Week.
Thank you so much.
We continue with our Athlete of the Week conversation here at Wyopreps.com, and this week's boys winner, Jase Burton from the Star Valley Boys Cross Country Program. He took sixth place in the elite division of the Bob Furman Invitational last weekend in Boise, Idaho. Ran 15 minutes, 19.8 seconds, and was one of the few runners that broke up the big group from Harriman, Utah, that is the number one cross country team for boys cross country in the nation last weekend. So, Jase, thanks for taking a few minutes to join me. Congrats on being one of our athletes of the week this season. But tell me and take me back to last Saturday. How do you think you ran up in Boise?
Yeah, thank you so much. It's way cool to get this. So, I mean, I raced well. I mean, that race always goes out ridiculously fast. But I thought I fought through it well and stayed calm and just tried to latch on to some of those Harriman boys and those kids that were trying to get away from us.
For you, what was kind of your strategy going into it, and how do you think you kind of played it out, as you mentioned, trying to kind of latch onto those guys?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a chess game. Everyone they say I'm gonna go out 5 minutes, so I'm gonna go out 4:50. So it's always just going out way too fast. But then you have to, that's where your great runners come from, is the ones that can stay calm and
Mhm.
fall back onto the pace they know and then be able to finish well. And so, yeah, I just had to stay calm and stick to my line and try to get around as many people as I could and then really push to try and catch those kids.
So talk a little bit about that. Where do you think you excelled in the course? Where did you maybe struggle a little bit, in terms of places to improve in future races? What was kind of your assessment with Coach Draney afterwards?
Yeah, I think I went out pretty well. I got good placement and then I was able to, I had a couple teammates around me which helped. So I got to work through my pack and then it definitely gets quiet um second lap. As you turn past the finish line, it just gets super quiet and you really have to commit to your race and commit to, going for a hard effort. And so I think I did well in committing and then finishing it off in the last, 600 meters. I passed a couple kids, so
Obviously, you mentioned you've got a couple great teammates that, kind of you guys push each other. For you individually, though, where do you feel like you've progressed the most from going back to your junior season to this senior season?
I think it's a lot of confidence. I can't say I've become a great runner in the last 6 months, but it's a big confidence boost to really nail those times in practice and then be able to show up on race day and conquer the nerves and really get after it.
Now, you guys don't run a ton in Wyoming. You guys go a lot to Idaho, maybe a little bit down into Utah, things like that. How do you compare that to then all of a sudden towards the end of the year where you do come back in and face, teams and runners that you don't see most of the season? How do you kind of compare and contrast that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, those Harriman boys between cross country and then indoor and outdoor track, we see them just about every week. And so you're really, you get to really push hard in those races, but then that's the beauty of having such a good team behind me is I get to, get back into Wyoming running and then, run the same pace with, the same guys because our team is built like that. So
Yeah. What's Coach Draney really kind of harping on with you guys right now here? Kind of middle of the season, but only a few weeks away from conference and 3 weeks away from just over 3 weeks away from state.
he's really pushing our gaps. We have me and Hobby and Colton and we're all strong and run off of each other and then we have Brigham and then we have a little gap and we really need to close that gap down or we're going to be in trouble come championship season. But if we close those gaps, we're going to be doing good and we're going to be packed up well. So
What'd you think of your time? 15:19.8. I believe that's the second fastest time, barely second fastest time in the state this year. I think behind only Trajan Swolstead, who I've had a chance to talk with. But what did you think of your time last weekend?
I mean, it was great. I mean that was what, it's 19. Oh, I can't even do math. Like 11 seconds. I think it was 11 seconds faster than I ran last year.
Oh,
So it's
nice.
good to get back out and get going quicker than I was last year. But I mean, there's always room for improvement, and I think some work on my race plan and stuff like that, and we can really, you know, lower that quite a bit.
Is there anything else that helps you kind of round into championship form here in a couple of weeks, Jase? Anything else come to mind?
It's really just repetition, getting those paces down, and then, every week, even if you're on our home course where you're not going to run anywhere near a state leading time, you're still putting forward an effort. And so that's what you really have to keep in mind is the effort that correlates the times. So
Before I let you go, where does your love of running come from? I mean, you do it all year long. That takes a lot and at times can take a toll on your body. So where does your love for it come from, and how do you kind of endure kind of fighting through some pain sometimes?
Yeah, so it really started when I was 9. I ran my first half marathon and I fell in love with the half marathon and I just kept going with it. And then coming to middle school, they said, "Hey, you can do this for a sport." And I said, "Sign me up." That's the shortest distance I've ever ran. So, it's just always been a part of my life. And then it's really deep in me that, just trying to push myself as far and as fast as I can. So that's what's keeping me coming back to practice every day.
All right. Who does a half marathon at 9, dude? Come on.
Oh,
It's unfair.
yeah, my sister did it at 10, so I had to do it at 9. So
Well, Jase, congrats on a great week. And I know that was an elite field. I don't think some people might realize just how good of a field that was at Bob Furman. I know you guys kind of realize it because you see it every week, but kind of put that in context for folks that maybe aren't and don't follow cross country a lot, but just how good of a field was that up in Boise?
yeah, I mean, you can't understate the number one team in the nation there. But I mean, you also have boys that have run, 15-10, and then you have boys that, that are looking towards NXR for, a chance to NXN. And so you have a field of boys that are just going out and competing every week, and it's just fun to all get together in a big place like Boise and really duke it out.
Well, hey, have fun on Thursday over in Pocatello. Not quite as far of a trip to Boise. It's a little shorter this time. But
Yep.
hey, congrats on being our athlete of the week. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.